at the stadium. Now, these two teams have met 8 straight years now in the season opener. Last year, not a good year for Joliet Catholic in that one. 45-0, a loss to Mount Carmel. Now, the good news, JCA's improved. You want the bad news? Well, how about this? Frank Lindy says Mount Carmel has improved, and he has a stud wide receiver in the form of Octavius Bond.
Number 40, Octavius James Bond, 6 foot, 185 pounds, 4.5 speed, great hands, great size. If the ball's been thrown in the area for Mount Carmel, James Bond will be there.
How about for Joliet Catholic Academy? Coming into this season, they thought Mike Meyer would be their starting quarterback, but just about 6 months ago, Meyer moved to Kansas City. He turned the ball over and the reins of this offense over to Mark Sopko.
Number 20, Mark Sopko, 6 foot, 175 pounds, junior. What a tough kid. Broke his nose in practice, went to the hospital, had a reset, went back to practice. For Hilltoppers to be successful, Sopko has to do a great job. He has to be a veteran on the first snap of the season.
Well, and Sopko's going to have to get a little bit of help as well. Of course, there's some big men up front in the trenches. And for more on that, why don't we go to our man in the trenches? That's Lee Turnbow. Lee?
Thanks, Dave. Coming into tonight's matchup, Joliet Catholic coach Dan Sharp wanted to play a wide-open game, but with threatening weather and an inexperienced quarterback, he figures to resort to smash-mouth football that Joliet Catholic made famous in the 70s and the 80s, and with good reason. The offensive line is a team's strength. They have 4 returning starters, and they average 6'3", 250 pounds across the front line. But perhaps the key to the offensive line for Joliet Catholic is center Frank Castagnoli, number 57. He put on 25 pounds last season just to prepare himself for this year. Now, he's got the key matchup in the offensive line tonight for Joliet Catholic. He goes up against lightning-quick nose guard from Mount Carmel, Dan Brick-Lassich. How well he blocks him will determine how well Joliet Catholic can run the football tonight. Dave?
Thanks, Lee. You know, tonight's game matches two teams that are state-ranked. Joliet Catholic ranked 9th in the state. Mount Carmel, well, you can't help but miss it. They're ranked number 1 in every single poll. And, Matt, coming into this game and in this season, that puts a little bit of weight on their shoulders.
Well, you talk about pressure. You know, every team that plays Mount Carmel will just come into the game very relaxed and easy because in the newspaper they've already won the 6A state title. They've already been ranked number 1 in the nation. So what are you going to do? Frank Linton's job, he's a master at it. He must keep them focused. Any guy that's won 5 state championships knows how to do. He's coached teams as good as or better than the team he's put on the field. His first opponent, great coach Dan Sharp, has got his team ready. The Hilltoppers are geared for an upset.
And we are ready as well. What better way to start here on Media One than the Hilltoppers and the Caravan? We've got that opening kickoff coming up next. Sievers pumps, throws, Illinois' greatest high school football fans have made their way to Joliet Memorial Stadium here on a warm and humid Friday night because the matchup tops any others in the state. It's the Mount Carmel Caravan and the Joliet Catholic Academy Hilltoppers. Welcome you back to our Media One High School Game of the Week, along with Lee Turnbow and Max McLaughlin. I'm Dave Bernhardt. It is a pleasure to get this season underway, and Max, you just absolutely could not script it any better than to put these two teams on the same field to get it going.
You're absolutely right. Excitement all over the field. This will be a big kickoff to start this year off. And if Catholic High wants to win this ball game, they got to start from the first kickoff and just keep pushing.
Dan Sharp has been very optimistic about this season. So have a lot of Hilltopper fans. He had a long wait here tonight to get this one going, but the man entering his second year as the head coach of the Hilltoppers is ready to have at it. His team will receive to start off their 98th season, coming off a 5-5 record last year. Hilltoppers closed fast. They won 4 of their last 5 last season. Kicking off for the Caravan will be Matt Pietrovic. This one is high, it is deep, and this will be a touchback. So the Hilltoppers get an opportunity to get things started offensively. They'll start from their own 20-yard line. Well, we talked a little bit about Mark Stopko. His backfield running mates will be Justin Kinsella and Tay Wilson. Big fullback is John Webb, 6 foot, 250 pounds. Tight end Brett Boyder has had a fabulous fall practice. Bill Burns has some great speed on the outside. It's that offensive line that people are talking about. Farley Stalk, left tackle, 6'6", to the 20-yard line. Of course, the double wing. We've become so accustomed to Dan Sharp coach teams, and they'll dive it right up the middle. 2-yard gain. Defensively for Mount Carmel, they returned 8 starters off a 10-2 team last year. Frank Lenny's very excited about this team. They are quick. They will move to the ball. Of course, Mount Carmel not really happy with a 10-2 record last year. That really is not up to their normal standards. Mark Sopko, the junior quarterback, wearing number 20. You don't see that too often from your quarterback. Looking at a 2nd and 8. And this is Sopko. He's got a first down and more. Sopko to the 45-yard line, 45-50. Sopko to the 38-yard line.
And we said Sopko would have to grow up. He grew up real fast on his first play with the ball under his arm. Great run that time.
That is a 39-yard run for Mark Sopko. He was a running back in the sophomore, and Matt, this young man knows what to do with the ball when he gets it in that hand.
Well, that's why he's got that number 20 on. He knows what to do with that ball. He's just a big running back. You know, the guy listed at 6 foot 175, goes about 5'11", about 165, and did a great job on that run.
First down for the Hilltoppers at the 39 of Mount Carmel. John Webb with a dive up the middle. He will get to the 35.
But John Webb is a big key also. Big fullback, strongest man in the Will County area.
Here's that defense for Mount Carmel. Dan Colomb, Seamus Herron, Kareem Timbers, and Robert Richardson are in the secondary. Timbers, the only non-senior there. The linebackers are solid. Talk about good linebackers, anchored by Brendan Curran in the middle. Jerry Schumacher is tough. Dan Turney and Dad Campasanta. But up front, Derek Strong. He's listed at 6'3". He wears number 97. He's more like about 6'6". Pitch this time. Sweep right side for the Hilltoppers. That is Justin Kinsella, junior running back.
And what Dan Sharp wants to do is keep him off balance. We want to smash in the middle with Webb as fullback, and then try to get a few tosses to the outside and quarterback keep to keep the Mount Carmel Caravans off balance.
Kinsella will get all the way up to the 30-yard line. All right, it looks like Kinsella had that face mask and a yank on his head. No flag there.
Well, this is the 4-down area for the Hilltoppers. They've got to be able to get a first down here to punch this ball in.
3rd and a yard. Webb is hit in the backfield, and he cannot escape the tackle of Brendan Curran. We told you about number 53 Curran, a 6-foot senior, and he just blew in and met Webb head up.
And that's why he's rated one of the top linebackers in the state of Illinois, and highly recruited. Probably would play on the outside at 6 foot 205, but Brendan has a nose for the football. We saw he just stuck Webb in the backfield. Now he had a big 4th down play.
Well, you're talking about an awful lot of strength there from Curran. He just stood up, a 250-pounder. John Webb broke the weightlifting record at Rudy's competition this summer, over 1,600 pounds. He benched at 430, but he couldn't get past Brendan Curran. 4th down and a yard for the Hilltoppers.
Give it back to him. There's a challenge out there.
Kinsella in motion. Sopko needs to turn the corner. It looks just short from here. Will depend on the spot.
Great play by the secondary, number 24, Dan Collins, the cornerback. He came up and just knocked him out of bounds. No, he didn't make it.
Did not miss by much, so the Hilltoppers, thanks to Sopko's 39-yard run, get themselves in position. Needed about another half yard, so Mount Carmel will take it over on offense starting from their own 30-yard line. Quarterback, well, we listed, actually, as we see him running onto the field, it is Mike Colleen. That's because Frank Lenti had not decided on his quarterback until kickoff. Keep an eye on Teddy Bolden. He is fabulous. Octavius Bond, a great one as well. We'll tell you about that offensive line. Well, we can tell you about it right now as their official timeout on the field. How about some linemen? Sylvester Miller, left tackle, 6'4", 275. Gary Young along the right side next to him, 6'4", 290. We're not making these up. It's legit. John Magaro, a 250-pounder. Mac, this has always been the key to a good Mount Carmel team. It is a strong offensive line.
Where do they get these sizes from? It's unbelievable. But you look on Catholic High, we go back to their offense. They're big also.
So Mike Colleen, the senior quarterback, gets the call. He was a battle with Brad Cozy in the preseason. First man through is Jim Smith. Smith, a 6'5", 200-pound senior, a about defenses and how strong they are. That figures to be one of the strengths for Joliet Catholic Academy this season. You see number 5 there, that's Ryan Davenport. He'll be in the middle of that defensive unit, flanked by a couple of good linebackers. Scott Monday, number 50, and Mike Goolsby. Keep an eye on number 41. The secondary of Ron Veranda, Ken Allen, Jay Zwerzinski, and Ryan Franceschi are solid. And up front, they are led by Brett Poiter and Mike Maloney on the end. 7-yard pickup for Smith. It will be 2nd and 3. Once again, quick hitter up the middle, Teddy Bolden, and there's a fumble recovered by the Hilltoppers.
The one thing that Coach McLaughlin, the defensive coordinator, said that they dive the ball. They've got to be ready inside game to shut that down because they'll break loose. And that time, someone stripped the ball and fell on it. And you'll see the dive play here.
He never got the ball. Ryan Davenport with the fumble recovery for the Hilltoppers.
And it's imperative that the Hilltoppers take advantage of this turnover.
Davenport, a returning starter, puts his offense in great position. Starting from the Mount Carmel 38-yard line, second possession of this game.
His first throw.
Sopko looking, and now he'll tuck it under. Good speed. Sopko dances along the sideline. He will get about 5, and I'll tell you what, if that sideline had been another half a yard to the right, he'd have been gone.
And that's the key with the Caravans going to have to make adjustments. They just can't blitz Sopko because Sopko has good escapability. You see him drop back, and he really turned that ball into his arm quick. He didn't take long to look downfield. And watch, maybe one more stripe out here and a little tiptoe. But that was a good plus yardage on the first down.
They will give him up to the 30-yard line. That's an 8-yard pickup for Sopko, and that's exactly what Dan Sharp wanted. Put yourself in the short yardage situation. 2nd and a couple. Kinsella again, motion.
Oh, he's got it again.
Sopko will keep again. Looking to turn the corner to the left. Gets a block on the outside. Sopko has the first down inside the 25.
Well, maybe that'll change some thinking. Everybody thinks the quarterback for the Hilltoppers has got to throw the ball. Sopko says if I can average 7, 8 yards carrying the ball around in, I won't have to throw too much. But that's good versatility, and it shows, again, those Caravans got to move up and protect the outside to stop Sopko from turning that corner.
Another 8-yard pickup for the junior quarterback who last year was a running back on a sophomore team. Did not know until February that he would be the quarterback for the Hilltoppers. First down at the Caravan 22.
Slant pass is wide open.
Staying on the ground. And they will stack up the fullback, Jake Gankarsik. Gankarsik alternates with John Webb. Webb plays some defensive line as well. So Gankarsik, 6', 200-pound junior, gets his first varsity carry.
I'll tell you got to watch number 53. Now, he's a highlight reel on the defensive side for Mount Carmel. I know a lot of times when we view TV, we watch the running back and the quarterback. Take a look at number 53, Brandon Curran, the 6', 205-pound linebacker in there. He'll be in the middle or go to the outside, depending on the strength. This kid really has a nose for the football.
No gain on the play. Kinsella looks to get a block, gets one. Nice job by Gankarsik. We open up a little bit, and Kinsella will get up to about the 17.
Well, with the big offensive tackles, we talked about Mount Carmel's offensive tackles, Shalk and Deckman at 250 and 280. They want to run behind and press. You put young Border in there. Now, this is the kid they tell us we need to watch. He's 6'4", 245 pounds, has great pedigree, if you want to call it that. His dad's an outstanding football coach. Won a state champion here in Shipfield for the Hilltoppers. So Border looks like he might be the key, and he's still a big, young, growing kid.
Brett Boyer, a 6'4", 245-pounder at tight end, but of course in this offensive scheme, you obviously expect to catch the ball, but you're a blocker. 3rd and 5 inside the 20.
Oh, he's going to
go again.
Needs a block.
Has a hole. That hole was closed up very quickly that time. Good footwork there by Sopko, but coming up from his free safety position was number 4, Seamus Herron.
And that's the adjustment they have made with the Caravan. When they see motion goes away, they bring their cornerback and safety up, and I spy the quarterback, number 20.
A yard short of a first down, and Dan Sharp is running his field goal unit. You see Seamus Herron, a returning starter and a good one. Joe Van Tassel is the kicker. His holder will be Bill Burns. They're lining this one up, the 20-yard line. Now, Dan Sharp says his special teams units are improved, he feels, from last year. Fantastic. A 30-yard field goal attempt. Burns gets it down. The kick is up. And it is good.
Wow. A new weapon in the Hilltoppers' arsenal. That's great. A lot of confidence in that young man. The first game of the season, moves it down. A yard to go for a first down, and he kicks the field goal.
Let's head down to the sidelines now, and our sideline reporter, Lee Turnbow. Lee?
Thanks, Dave. It's quite evident what Coach Dan Sharp's offensive game plan is. That's to run misdirection. Coming into the ball game, he was worried about the speed on Mount Carmel's defense. Joliet Catholic, they're huge up front. The size difference on the field is unimaginable. But the thing is, what they're going to do is Sopko, because he's inexperienced, is run him off misdirection and bootleg action, make Mount Carmel defenders run one way and then the other. And, Mac, you know how hard that is. The first game of the season, the first series, you want to pursue to the ball, and that's why all those outside runs were open.
Exactly. The old Lincoln Way double wing that you got to run inside and out, and they haven't touched all their weapons in that.
Joe Van Tassel putting the first points to the board, taking advantage of a fumble. Recovery from Ryan Davenport. It was a 38-yard drive in 6 plays.
And again, coaches in the early season spend about 40% of their time on their specialty team. And when you have a kicker like that that can kick the ball through, that just makes your fourth down a lot easier decision to make.
Well,
if he's consistent.
That was a 30-yard field goal that would have been good from 40.
Yes. I mean, the Nick Seta syndrome is all around the Joliet area. The kids are kicking the ball with fantastic results.
The Hilltoppers draw first blood here tonight.
I'll tell you what, he better kick that ball away from those two guys deep back there. They look like they got a lot of beat speed.
Octavius Bond and Dan Dorham, they can fly.
I know Bond is a genuine. I've seen him run before.
Bond is on the left, Dorham on the right. And Tassel.
There's a challenge.
Send it to Bond. He'll take it at the 5, and here he comes. Octavius Bond slowed up.
He's still loose. Wow.
He gets himself to the 24-yard line. Well, that just gives you a little bit of a tease as to what this guy can do. Octavius Bond, 4.5 speed. We just about saw him squirt through there.
I think it's about time for Frank Linney to let up. Now, watch the great moves this kid has. He's got the little skinny racehorse legs that you can't grab, but he had good coverage on him. He just kept running and running and running and moving his feet and moved up about 10 yards on that kickoff.
We've not yet seen Teddy Bolden with the carry. This is Smith. Smith will get across the 25 before he's hit by Brett Boyder.
Well, he'll lull you into that by giving to the fullback, and all of a sudden go outside.
Top jocks tonight, Mac. By virtue of a draw, you got yourself the first pick. And your reasoning, please?
Well, I don't want Lee to get a head start. I had to take the kid that could be all state net from that backfield.
Lee, you've got a good one there.
I took Octavius Bond.
And John Webb was my choice. I thought the Hilltoppers pounded up the middle. They may yet still do that. We get our top jock started here.
Look
in the
out.
Season. Bond has it.
Great coverage.
Super job by Jared Olson. Olson just looked Bond in the eye and brought him down.
Well, he thought he was going to do the snake dance out there and get away from it, but Davenport just stayed right in his face and made step for step to stop that. And that's the danger when you got Octavius Bond out there. He can catch a 2-yard pass, and watch the moves. He got nice juke moves with his feet, but again, you see all that coverage back there, and that's what you want to do. Hit him and hold on and wait for the rest of the troop.
Gain of a yard. It's 3rd down and 7 for the Caravan.
About time for Teddy Bolden to touch this football. Another dive.
Short of a first down. Coming up 2 yards short. Jim Smith has got all the carries here tonight to gain to the 32-yard line, and the Caravan will check those markers along the side and say, yep, with a yard and a half to go, we will punt.
Boy, that time, number 76, John McGarrow, 6'2", 250-pound, he was blocking a Hilltopper down the field, and he didn't stop blocking until he hit the 40-yard line.
Hilltopper defense getting a well-deserved hand by this big crowd here on the near sideline. Matt Pietrovic is the punter. Back deep for the Hilltoppers is Ken Allen. Allen standing back at about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Mr. Pietrovic is one of the top-rated kickers in the state also.
Good pressure, and it's
Yeah,
blocked.
it's blocked.
The Hilltoppers are in business.
Great defense. That's what we're talking about special teams. They've got to create turnovers and put their offense in a good position to score. And that time they put 10 men on the line of scrimmage, got the block at number 53, made a great save on that ball. Ron Verona to put the Hilltoppers inside the 20-yard line.
Coming right at you. Let's see who got it. Looked as if it was blocked by Ryan Brentchesky. Number 14 for the Hilltoppers, Miranda, was there, and it is first down and 10. JCA at the 18-yard line of Mount Carmel. And, Mac, we think back to last year in this game, played up at Gately Stadium. A reversal of what we're seeing tonight. Last year, it was the Hilltoppers that were in terrible field position. Mount Carmel taking advantage of the turnovers and the breaks. You see the domination here as to what it led to, and we're seeing kind of a flip-flop of that here early on.
And we're talking about pressure before the ball game. This is what's happening. The Caravan have got to relax. They're a little tight. They got that number one ranking in their face. Coach Lindsey knows what they're going to do. That's why he's kept it very basic. I think he'll change it a little bit, start putting that ball up in the air.
Timeout on the field gives us a chance to get down on the field. Lee?
We talked about this before in the pregame, the emotion. Joliet Catholic, the varsity team was out here in the first quarter of the sophomore game. They were all jacked up. Mount Carmel got off the bus. They were more businesslike. And in the first quarter, Joliet Catholic right now is playing on emotion, enthusiasm, and making the big breaks on turnovers.
They've had one turnover that has led to a field goal, and now looking to capitalize on a blocked punt. Mount Carmel reeling a little bit. Dan Sharp, he could not have scripted the beginning of this game to go anything different than what he has seen.
And he just hopes that he's got 4 quarters of this intense football to go, because remember, he's talking about a great team that has all the weapons in the world to strike at any moment.
From the 18, Tate Wilson, the man in motion. He will get his first carry of the year. Wilson scoots to the outside. He will get across the 15-yard line. A Hilltoppers popping off chunks, 3-4 yards and a crack here.
Now, Tate Wilson brings another dimension to the Hilltop offense. Has good speed at 5'8", 170 pounds. They want to get him outside. He's not very powerful to run inside. But if he gets outside, he has some good speed that he could go and break some long gainers.
Now remember, this is an offensive unit that in the skill positions in your backfield, very little experience. In fact, combined, Sopko, Kinsella, Webb, Wilson, your starters in the backfield, combined for over 152 yards in offense last season. Here they are starting up against the number 1 ranked team in the state in game number 1. They have a 3-0 lead.
Let's see if they give that ball to Webb. Oh, offside over there.
Brett Boyder fired off a count too soon, the first penalty of the night.
80.
A referee tonight is Tom Toman.
89, and Coach Smith came across the ball.
So Tom Toman notifies us that it was Brett Boyder. Most everybody here about, I don't know, what are we guessing here tonight, Mac? 5,000, 6,000?
I would say this is a great crowd. You know, with all the football that's going on and all the publicity for this game, it's a great night for the game. They had a long wait for it to get started, but yet still, this is what it's all about. This is a great crowd for the Hilltoppers and the Caravan.
Just before the game, the humidity was so thick that it wasn't really raining or drizzling. It was just kind of like water falling out of the air.
Isn't it raining in here?
Oh.
My glasses are
I'm soaked.
I tell you what, no more bow ties. That's it.
You look good, though. You look awfully good. Second down and 12. Sopko straight drop.
Got a screen.
Ooh, drew it into trouble there. He was looking for number 24, Joe Van Tassel, and it's a good thing that fell incomplete.
And number 47, Schumacher, was right there. Now, this guy is tough. At 6'3", 215 pounds, they call him the Intimidator, and he was right there. Sopko's got to learn how to throw that thing away. You see 48's on the red, but look, there it is. And big number 97, the guy we thought was listed as 6'4", looks more like 6'6", 6'7". He almost got his hands on that ball.
Sopko was being chased by number 48, Tony Fulton, a 5'5", 165-pound nose guard.
Where did they get him from? He must be one of those wrestlers.
Yeah.
I could get to talk about Wick about that.
3rd and 20 now. Van Tassel comes in motion. Sopko. Nice cut to the inside, now to the outside. Mark Sopko with another cut. Inside the 10, he's close to a first down. That young man has some quick feet.
I tell you, it's a good thing he has experience being a running back, because he's going to take some punishment later on in this ball game, because him being the quarterback, they're going to come at him like he's a big time. Nice move. He's got quick feet. Again, he may not be able to throw the ball, but when he tucks it under, don't like the way he hangs that ball out there. But watch this hit. Boom, right on the helmet there. You don't want your quarterback getting hit too much like that unless you got 2 or 3 more on the sideline.
Robert Richardson was the man that made the stop and kept Sopko about a yard away from a first down. It's 4th and a yard, and the Hilltoppers will go for it here.
This is a mano-mano time now for Webb. Ooh,
Slipping a tackle, first down, is it? And Kartsik, I think they're going to give him the spot. I thought his knee may have stumbled down, and it's a first down, Hilltoppers.
Wow.
Well, now they haven't officially signaled, and they will bring it across. All right, maybe we called that a bit too soon.
I'm starting to break in, but I still think if you want this offense, this double-wing offense to go, Webb, the fullback, has to be established. You see, again, they fake the Webb and come back with a counter play, and he just gets tripped up. He makes a nice cut inside. We see big number 61 reach out and put a shoestring and stop his head from going. It's going to be a close pull. Oh, they got it.
Oh, easy.
A country mile.
Well, it's interesting in the backfield that time. You mentioned they did not give the ball to Webb. They gave it to Gan Kartsik, who is also a fullback. So you had a couple of fullbacks in the backfield at the same time.
And I think that syndrome, it's mano-mano I'm talking about. These two teams want to stand up and knock their really snot out of each other, so to speak. And that's how you teach your kids. Hit them in the head and drive them because they know once who controls the line of scrimmage will control this game.
Ball is just outside the 7-yard line. Hilltoppers lead it 3-0.
Big splits on the left.
There's Webb up the middle. 250-pounder goes nowhere. Driven back by number 75. Getting a big hand on him, Sylvester Miller. 6'4", 275-pounder. Miller plays on the offensive line, but here in the goal line, he's there to put some beef on there.
Well, that time, Sharks and Border had a good block and good split. I thought they might break it. If he'd veered to the outside, he might have stuck his head down there. He's got to get a little lower. With those linemen and linebackers that the Caravan have, they're going to put a licking on him. I don't care how strong he is.
1:21 to play here in the first quarter. Officials huddling with the Hilltopper coaching staff. I'm not sure exactly what this would be all about.
I bet Frank Lindsay wants to listen in on this also. What are you guys talking to one guy? Must be something with the clock.
You don't think Joliet Catholic Academy is fired up? You have two officials talking here in the sideline, but they break their huddle. They're ready to play. This first quarter has been dominated by JCA, forcing a fumble and blocking a punt.
And they've kept that offense off the field
Yes.
for any substantial drives, 4, 5, 6 plays at the most.
From the 6-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Might be top going to roll out. Whoa, he's open.
Flag is down. Boyder with the grab. A flag is down, however. Boyder is down just outside the goal line. This was thrown by the back judge.
Oh, wow. It's coming back.
In the backfield that time for the Hilltoppers was outstanding linebacker Mike Gouldsby. We were told that Gouldsby would see some time in the offensive unit here tonight. Gouldsby, one of the fastest players. Of course, that pass went to Boyder, and unfortunately for JCA here, that penalty will push them back a ways.
Oh, boy, that's a big one, too. Well, holding occurs all the time, on every play. Just a matter of who wants to pull that yellow hanky out and throw it down.
Ball goes back to the 15-yard line. It will be 2nd and goal from there.
I would think that Dan Sharp would want to keep this ball on the ground and try to get down to, again, a kicking situation. You don't want to lose that emphasis, and you want to come out of here with some more, with some points. And 3 would be awful good.
Pitch to Wilson.
Get outside.
Near the 10. It'll be 3rd down and goal from there.
You know, it reminds me a little bit of Randall when he's running, just not quite as big. And I keep looking for that beat speed to make that dash inside, and boom, he's outside and making yardage. Nice running here. A cut. You see the big pullback block by Webb. Nice block, cutting the inside. Got hung up there, and you see the great pursuit by big number 97, Derek Strong. Just comes in there and knocks him flat.
Into the JCA playbook for a third down and goal from the 11-yard line. There's Derek Strong, and he is. The flag down, that could be a delay of game. Up. Now we have the clock going off at the same time, so hang on.
Can't be a delay of game.
I think,
Wow.
now the Hilltoppers will have getting another 5-yard walk-off. Yep, they'll put 2 more seconds on the board here. And walk 5 more off, so now back to the 16-yard line. So JCA has stumbled a little bit here.
And they can't get in that syndrome because they're making a lot of mental errors right now, which in the first ball game that's what happened. But now they need that big play.
Don't let those numbers fool you. There are 2 seconds left.
He's got time.
Sopko has plenty of time. Lets it
Oh,
go.
into a
Brett
crowd.
Slater with a hit. Slater. Touchdown.
Holy cow, where did he come from? He looked like Mike Dicker, a big crook out of the fast lane, just lumbering across the middle there and catch that ball on the sideline. Great play by Sopko. It looked ugly, but it's 6 points for the Hilltoppers.
Third down and goal from the 16-yard line. Big old Brett Boyder, all 6'4", 245 pounds of him. Makes the grab, puts 6 on the board, and now Van Tassel will try to make this a 10-0 lead at the end of 1 quarter. Burns gets it down. Van Tassel's kick is through.
Wow,
And this first quarter has been dominated by Joliet Catholic Academy, 10-0. Taking advantage of 2 turnovers, a field goal, a third down touchdown pass. It is all Hill.
We'll see Mark Sopko drop back. This is an ugly pass. He throws into a crowd, but here comes a lumbering big number 89. Brett Boyder comes across. And watch this pass. It's like a floater. There are nothing but Caravan jerseys around there, and there he is. Now watch this move. Ball out, lunging. He must have giant hands. I'll tell you what, if he'd have dropped that ball, he'd have had a giant spanking by Danny Sharp on that. Great play by Sopko and Brett Boyder.
Sopko gets his first career touchdown by way of passing. Brett Boyder puts 6 on the board. In fact, it was Boyder that just stood out in the fall camp, according to Dan Sharp, and he stood out here as we closed out the first quarter. 10-0 JCA.
1 down, 3 to go.
And Tassel will keep this one short. This one is Dan Dorham. This guy has speed. He's cut down before he gets to the 35. Well, in the first quarter, I assume the game plan for the Hilltoppers was try not to let Mount Carmel touch the ball. Well, how about just 5 offensive plays from scrimmage for the Caravan in that first quarter?
Couldn't answer better than that. Now, if you only give them 5 this quarter, you got a chance to go into halftime. Boy, really jacked up.
Boyder will get a breather from his defensive responsibilities here as Caravan will come out to their 34-yard line. Bond will split out wide to the right. And there's the fumbled exchange.
Oh, they got the ball
Hilltoppers.
again. Wow. Maybe that's the reason Coach Lindsey didn't know who his quarterback was going to be up until 5 minutes before game time. Some bad exchanges in there really cramped the Caravan offense, and the Hilltoppers have taken every opportunity that you give them for making a big plus for them.
And now the Hilltoppers have it. First down from the Mount Carmel 34.
They're about ready to call a timeout. I think Coach Lenny wants to say, hey, let's settle down.
And the Hilltopper faithful love what they have seen.
Well, the new era may be just popping in for Danny Sharp and the Hilltopper coaching staff.
Mike Colleen is the quarterback. He was not decided upon being the quarterback until just before this game. And there is some problems right there in exchange. Second time we've seen that.
That ball's down right away. Number 72's in his face.
Boy, Stasko gets that recovery. That is a fabulous job by Jim Stasko inside. But the second turnover night, throwing a block punt. Hilltoppers are in business from the Mount Carmel 34. Let's head down to the sidelines with Lee Turnbow.
How big is this matchup, Dave and Mac? Big enough to get a full page in Chicago Sun-Times today on the prep coverage. This rivalry is 70 years old. The first game happened 1928. Joliet Catholic won 12-0, and rumor has it, Dave and Mac, you guys were there to do the first game.
Well, we remember that. Mac bought me popcorn that night. Can you believe it?
Did they make popcorn back in those days? If you look on that sheet, Lee, if you look at the first 15, oh, we're back to the ball game. I'm sorry. Oh, fumble.
Now Sopko drops this snap from center. He ends up with it again, but a little bit of sloppiness here in the last 30 seconds.
Just to reiterate on that sheet of paper that Lee had up, the first 20 ball games, Mount Carmel shut out Catholic High every year. They beat them and shut them out. Well, that was 1921, but I would tell you, that's outstanding.
Now, this is the 8th straight opener that these two teams have squared off against each other. Mount Carmel holds a 4-3 advantage. We look at the coaching staff of Mount Carmel.
There's no time for them to let up. Oh, boy.
A little play action
Got
from
plenty of
Sopko.
room.
Now he's in trouble.
Oh, boy.
Schumacher chasing.
Look at this.
Sopko just wings it. He got it. Kinsella makes the catch out of bounds.
Wow. You know, Sopko's a Mississippi gambler. I don't think he has the great throwing arm that Mike Meyer and some of the other quarterbacks. Boy, I tell you, he got some guts. But he'll put a lot of gray hairs in Danny Sharp's head this year. Look at this. First he tucks it under. And you think, well, he makes a juke move, and then he turns all the way around. And here's that one from the referee gets out of the way. He throws a jump ball. And almost a great catch. Ooh. Another foot, boy. The place would have been crazy.
Great look for you at home. Tell you what, you couldn't be much closer to Kinsella on that catch if you were the defender. Now that's what I think Dan Sharp knew he was going to get when he had Sopko behind center. He says, you know what? You look again at Kinsella making a great grab. That's great concentration. Yep. But, you know, Sopko is going to make some great plays just by his pure athleticism.
And every game he plays, every snap makes that experience that much better down the road, 3 or 4 ball games, when he really becomes an excellent quarterback. It's really going to show with the weapons they have in that backfield.
7 state champions have worn these colors.
Oh, he threw it away.
Kinsella, trouble, down. Dan Turney falls on Kinsella. Not a good pitch there.
And you don't want the momentum to change because right away you know what the Caravan has to bring to the party. You don't want to get in a position where things start going bad for you. That ball just up for grabs that time. And then he tried to pick it up. That's a no-no. Fall on that thing. Number 43, Dan Turney, was all over him.
John Webb will do the punting for the Hilltoppers. Gets the good snap, no rush. Angling it away from Seamus Herron. Gets a good hop. It rolls dead at the 11-yard line. So Mount Carmel will head to the line. They will try to run their 7th play from scrimmage, and we have 2 minutes gone here in the second quarter.
Like the old adage, who'd have thunk it? You know, all this, you can look in the newspapers, and you don't win ball games in the newspaper. And I'm sure Coach Lindsey, this is just the first ball game, and we see young Sopko there with some moves there. But I think Coach Lindsey, one of the great coaches you have that can take you in the locker room and bring you out in a better position.
Take a look at one of the many assistants that Mount Carmel seems to bring to a game. Well, I tell you, I saw more people come off of their bus than I have ever seen. As many coaches as players. He's tough to bring down. We've yet to see Teddy Bolden touch the ball.
Is that because I took him in the pick the click? Oh, my goodness.
Now, Jim Smith's a good one. I mean, we talk about Bolden. We hear about Bolden. He combined with Teddy for over 1,700 yards and 19 touchdowns last year. He's one of these guys that, according to Lenti, is, a throwback to those old Catholic League days. Just a real hard-nosed, bruising type runner.
I'd be bruising, too, if I had big old 250, 290-pound tackles and guards to run behind.
We have a penalty here against Joliet Catholic following that 20-yard gain.
The big one.
So this gets Mount Carmel out of a quick hole all the way out to the 46-yard line. So a 20-yard gain plus a 15 penalty. 35 yards net on that.
And I think the defensive coordinator is getting a little nervous now. He knows when you make mistakes like that, you can really pay the dividend.
A look at Frank Lenti and Dan Sharp as they peer at a 10-0 Hilltopper lead. Colleen puts the ball up. Verona the coverage, but the catch was made along the sideline by Octavius Bond.
Well, you put a linebacker on and try to run with him. That time, you had number 53 running down Ron Verona, try to run with Octavius. But again, they have him pushing off. And the Hilltoppers get a break on that one.
That's not a badly thrown ball by Colleen. He put the ball out there. It was up to Bond to try to make something happen with it.
But the big thing, there was no pressure put on him. No one got in his face and watched this catch. Oh, he stepped out of bounds.
Yep, the right foot was out of bounds. Colleen, of the two quarterbacks, he's competing with junior Brad Cozy in the preseason, has the better arm. 2nd and 10.
Here comes the option. Oh,
Colleen
look out.
deep.
You got one man to beat there.
Colleen all the way up to the 33-yard line. Boy, he had a huge hole there. Missing on the shot at him was number 6 early in the run, Jay Zwarzinski.
And that time, number 41, Mike Goolsby, had to really chase him down the field to get it. The Hilltoppers were out of position on that. He did a great job of going dive, dive, dive. They bit on the fullback dive, and then he just tucked that ball in and missed tackle, and then you get a big gain on that run.
There's Zwarzinski misfiring. Goolsby, you see number 41 from behind. Big linebacker, 6'4", 220, but he is one of the top 3 fastest runners here on this Hilltopper squad. Mount Carmel to the JCA, 33, and Smith burst through a hole up the middle. And we're starting to see the yardage here put up by Mount Carmel, regrouping a 20-yard run, through a 15-yard penalty, a 21-yard run by Colleen, and now Smith gets about 6.
And this drive started at 9:21, and we're going at 8:56, and you see how a bad break and a missed tackle, and the Caravan are right down. The Hilltoppers are going to make a stand and shut that run down.
Joliet Catholic a 10-0 lead here in the second quarter. Colleen to the air.
Oh, he's got a deep pattern going on. He fell down.
Colleen threw to an empty spot on the field. He was being chased by Scott Monday.
And Monday's one of those linebackers. We talk about Goolsby. Sean Monday's at 6 foot, 200 pounds, got good speed, and a great tackle. Likes to chase people down behind. That time he put enough pressure on Colleen to make him throw that ball. Also, Octavius Bond just flat fell down on trying to run his route.
Ryan Davenport, number 5, had a fumble recovery early in this game, led to a Van Tassel 30-yard field goal. 3rd and 3.
Well, the Hilltoppers are man coverage on Octavius Bond.
Bolden, his first carry of the night. Close to a first down. Like he will be a yard short, however. 4th and a yard. Here's your mano-a-mano here, Mac.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, yeah. And you look out there with Octavius Bond, a 4.5 speed, and you got Verona out there at 6'1", about 170, with a linebacker number trying to cover him. 1-on-1, that's a lot of territory. This is a big down here.
Mount Carmel needs a yard for a first down at the Hilltopper 25.
And that's a long yard. Oh, got a motion call.
Jim Smith fired off the ball a little bit early. Now, he could have reset. However, the left side of the line moved a little bit, too, and that's a big 5-yard penalty, and Frank Lenti may have to have another decision to make. There goes Smith. I still think he's okay.
Yeah. Boy, if he'd have turned left and went down the line, he'd have been all right. We called motion. You know, as good as that 5 yards was for the Hilltoppers, I think that was going to be a run. Now you've got to stop Octavius Bond, and they moved him to the slot or the wing on this side, so he's hitting.
He needs 6 yards.
Well, it looked like another one. He got him. Whoa.
Pitch to Teddy Bolden. Bolden to the outside. He will have the first down. First time that Teddy Bolden has gotten some room to run, and the speedster picks up the first on 4th down and 6.
Well, they set that up pretty nice. They put Bolden to the near side, put him in motion, fake the dive to the fullback, and then a great pitch by Clan, the quarterback. And here Bolden, you see him plant that left foot. Now he's looking for that marker, and he's running right through the down marker for that first down.
9 yards on the carry from Bolden. Good enough for a first down. We have 7:19 to play here in the first half. It's a 10-0 Hilltopper lead.
And nothing's coming easy for the Caravan, but right now they're on the march.
They've taken this from their own 11-yard line. Here comes Bond again.
Whoa, nice.
Khalid just kind of hands the ball to Bolden, and he's cut down. Not a good-looking play right there. In on the stop, number 53 for the Hilltoppers, Ron Veranda. Also number 74, Mike Maloney from his defensive end position.
And the big guy, number 50, Scott Munday, the outside linebacker, made the key tackle on that. He came in and just flung his body at Joliet, the quarterback, and forced him to get that ball off early. They're playing aggressive defense out there. They've got to watch the bite, because what hurt them to get down there was that option with the quarterback keeping.
No gain on the play. Second down.
Draw.
Bolden up the middle, wrestled down by Boyder.
Great play. Boy, he's everything you're talking about. Offense, he does the job, and that time he made a tackle that probably saved 6 points.
Yep.
Because that guy was motorboating at that line of scrimmage. Watch the big hands of Brett Boyder. Doesn't have all the great speed, but he reaches out. There he is. He puts everything into it, trying to strip that ball.
Leap.
The reason why Ted Bolden's not getting the ball is because last week he didn't play in the practice day parents scrimmage. I don't know if he's got an injury bug, but the reason is he's not playing very well is because he wasn't ready last week to play in the football game. I think he's got still a little bit of an injury.
Interesting. Talking to Frank Lenthy earlier in the week, I asked him that very question. Is he healthy? He says yes.
There's that option.
Option pass. He's got a man wide open. Octavius Bond, the touchdown.
The one play that you didn't see or get ready for was that. They ran option, dive, and then they come out. A late pitch. Quarterback got hit on that and almost got that, didn't get that pitch off. And the defensive back bit on it and left Octavius Bond, which you should never do. I'm sure that they've told him to stay with Bond no matter what happens, but that happens in a football game.
Bond opened by 10 yards. Just watching him as Smith was winding up, it was like Bond said, please get this ball to me. I can't even see anybody near me. And Matt Pietrovic will attempt to cut this lead down to 3 points. Coming right at you. Heron gets it down. This one is right through the middle. Now Carmel marches 89 yards and cuts the Hilltopper lead down to 10-7.
It's important that the Hilltoppers come back, and if they don't score it, sustain a drive.
Back down the sidelines we go, and our buddy Lee Turnbow.
You get the feeling Joliet Catholic's going to have to hold on here in the first half to keep momentum going into the second half. A great first quarter played on motion. Mount Carmel got a big penalty on this last drive to cut it, and a gadget play pulls them within a couple points in the second quarter. Joliet Catholic right now is playing very good defense. The offense is going to have to sit there and go more than 3 and out, because if they do, they give Mount Carmel the impetus to get the momentum.
You know, Matt Lee makes a good point there. Even on this 89-yard drive, you know, there are a couple of big plays, but I thought Hill played pretty decent defense on that. I mean, they made a mistake here, a couple of misassignments, but all in all, I thought it was solid.
I agree. And the key, if you look down on the bench, you get a shot of that Hilltopper defensive meeting. They cannot hang their head. Right now, the momentum we see, the Mount Carmel Caravan, they're all pumped up. They just got to score. What the Hilltoppers are doing, what the coaches are trying to impede, say, fellas, you did a good job. Hold your head up. Don't get down on it. Don't start thinking about what you didn't do because you played a heck of a first quarter. You got to keep it up because this is
don't forget, we're back. Wednesday nights live at 6:30. It is the Sports Zone. Join me and Jennifer Swan. We'll be there for you. Pick up that phone. Join us every Wednesday on the Zone. We'll be talking about this game and more. And Matt Pietrovic puts this ball nearly out of the end zone on the kickoff.
Good hit. Wow.
Hilltoppers starting from their 20. They're scoring tonight with 6:16 to play in the first quarter. Joe Van Tassel, a 30-yard field goal. That came after a fumble recovery by the Hilltoppers' Ryan Davenport. And then following a block punt by Ryan Franceschi, Brett Boyder caught a 16-yard pass from Sopko. That closed out the first quarter and gave the Hill a 10-0 lead. And now Bond, his pass from Smith, cuts it to a 3-point Hilltopper advantage.
Well, this is time to grow up right now. We'll see if Curran and Schumacher on that defensive line start smacking people down, or will the Hilltoppers just pick up and keep the drive going?
Kinsella hit behind the line. I believe it was Schumacher that got a hand on him at first. Kinsella will fall ahead, pick up a yard.
And it's going to be a tough year so far as making big yardage for the Hilltoppers. They don't have that great speed. They don't have that great skill back that you normally have in your backfield. So it's going to take a while, and they're going to have to make sustained drives and rely on Sopko in key situations.
2 yards for Kinsella. Remember, Mount Carmel has used a couple of their timeouts already here in the first half to just kind of quell some Hilltopper momentum. Coming up on 5 minutes to play here in the first half.
Boy, some
movement all over the place, no flag. Sopko, he's in trouble.
Get down.
Derek Strong closes the door, and it is slammed shut by Dan Turney, number 43.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I was coaching and I had a quarterback that ran around, boy, my heart went to my mouth every time when he got hit like that. And with Steve Sopko, he'll tuck that ball in right away. Does not have any leverage out here, as you see. And watch again, the big guys just come in and boom, comes right back and gives him one. Oh, wow, that's there's no reason for that.
Little headbutt there.
There's no reason for that. That could have been a 15-yard on that. Good camera work on that one. And the referee was standing right on top of him.
Loss of 7 on the play. Back to their 15-yard line. Momentum here has been regained, or gained, we should say, by the Caravan.
Look
Pull
out.
up the middle for Sopko. To the 24. He'll get the yardage he lost back plus 2 more. But it's 3rd down and long.
Well, if you go back, you think Danny Sharp thinking, what if Mari had stayed and Sopko goes to tailback? You know, not a bad backfield. I mean, you can always presuppose what would have happened. But Sopko did an excellent job for the first time as a varsity QB.
Of course, make that 4th down and long.
Remember the block punts the Hilltoppers had. They're bunching up at that line.
10 men are coming. Webb gets it,
Ooh.
and there's some whistles.
I'll tell you what, the guy ran into Webb and fell down like a shot. Boy, I'll tell you.
That's running into a punter who's vulnerable.
He dropped both legs down, and the kid just went kaboom. Man. They're going to call that against the Caravan. They weren't set.
Yeah, there's
Too many men.
They're counting the players right now.
3, 5, 7, 10. I don't see 11 out there.
Now, what's interesting is whistles blew, no flags were thrown, and now they're counting the players. Interesting. Let's get an explanation here from Tom Coleman.
You got to substitute if you had to kill it. Substitutes in infractions. A 5-yard penalty. Throw men on the field.
So they do get the 12 men. A 5-yard penalty will make it 4th and short. This situation. They'll still be kicking, but now it's just done from the 29-yard line.
Now they know which hole to plug up because there was a breakout on that offensive line with all those white jerseys coming through.
Seamus Heron will drop back to field this Webb punt. Not much pressure.
Uh-oh. Oh, he didn't
Kicked it
feel
away
that
from
ball.
Heron.
Man.
Heron just let it go.
Holy cow.
This will roll down to the 22-yard line. Interesting. Heron would have had to slide over a couple of yards, but he was not too interested in fielding it. The Hilltoppers got about 20 more yards in field position. So Mount Carmel will have 3 minutes and 8 seconds left here in the first
about Mount Carmel that's put them in bad position. Other than that, they've really moved the ball, and the Hilltoppers play solid defense. A great defensive game from both sides. Well, there's some big seams on that right side of the defense.
Colleen to keep, and now the pitch to Smith. Brought down. Good coverage that time. Coming from number 8, Ken Allen.
I'll tell you what, that's just like you practice it. You know, one guy's got he's got the quarterback. He goes in and makes him throw it. The other guy's coming up. He's got to have the tailback on that, and that's what's picture perfect. Stop the dive. There's the pitch. Now watch the cornerback coming outside and makes a great tackle. That's how you stop him from going another 3 or 4 yards on that.
Allen the tackle. Olsen was there. Make sure nothing funny happened. 3-yard pickup for Smith.
I'll bet somebody stays on Octavius Bond this time and goes running down the middle. That's going to come to this side. Got him again if they... Whoa.
Goolsby misses Dan Dorham, who makes his first carry of the night. The speedy sophomore, though, is strung out. A loss on the play.
And one thing you have to look at, number 12, the quarterback, Mike Keeling, is taking some licks. They are really just knocking him on the ground. A lot like Sopko, but even with more force because he's throwing the ball, pitching the ball out, and leaving himself vulnerable for some good shots into the rib cage.
Ball to the 24-yard line, 3rd and 7. 1:40 left to play here in the second quarter.
Boy, they still got man coverage. That's a lot of confidence.
Clean to throw.
Come across the middle. Great pitch.
Picked off by Veranda at the 41-yard line. Veranda left sideline.
There's a flag. Two flags. I just commented on saying, boy, you got to have a...
Saturday, September 12th. Brought to you by Pepper's Bedroom City, Alligator Records, Guitar Center, Hawthorne Racetrack, and 93 XRT.
Outlook Technologies Incorporated, Chicagoland's fastest-growing and premier internet development specialists, have immediate career opportunities available for entrepreneurial IT professionals.
Big crowd at Joliet Memorial Stadium. Those fans that are on the west side of the stadium are the happy ones because they're the Hilltoppers fans, and they lead Mount Carmel 10-7 at the end of the first half. Big plays in the first half for the Hill. One of them, early on, a block punt. Ryan Brancheski gets a hand on it. Ron Veranda, he's had a big half with the recovery, and that's good news for the Hill. They had already led this game 3-0. Then on 3rd down and goal from the 16-yard line, Mark Sopko looking for anybody. How about number 89? Brett Boyder, great hands. The boys, Dan Coloman. Look at this stretch. That's 6 for the Hill. They led it 10-0, and Octavius Bond cut that with a 20-yard pass, an option pass from running back Jim Smith, and that's where we are right now at the end of the first half. 10-7 Joliet Catholic Academy. We welcome you back to the stadium in our Media One Game of the Week coverage. I'm Dave Bernhardt, joined as always by Lee Turnbow and Mac McLaughlin. And Mac, interesting because if Dan Sharp hadn't said it at the end of the first half, I was going to bring it up right now, and I will again. 4 turnovers, a blocked punt. You would really feel like you should be winning a ball game more than just 10-7.
Exactly. He knew he should have punched in one more score before the half if he really want to get some results out of turnovers. His defense is playing magnificently. They're putting him in field position. He's got to get more punch in that offense.
You know, but you turn it around the other way. The only touchdown that Mount Carmel has scored was on a gadget play, and you can't really practice everything in that preseason. Right. Bond gets a 20-yarder, or else this is a 10-0 game, and you feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, and it's a fundamental mistake. It's a quarterback halfback exchange where the ball's been put on the ground, and you know that if you're going to be the number 1 team in 6A and all these other things, you can't do that. You can't put that ball down on any team, especially a fired-up Hilltopper team.
These two teams met last year, 1 year ago, up at Gately Stadium. Mount Carmel thoroughly dominating that ball game. Offensively, you see Joliet Catholic Academy at the end of the year, pretty solid, averaging 282 yards the game, only 75 yards against Mount Carmel. So it was a rough time last year for the Hilltoppers. Things going a little bit better. It's always good to get down and talk to our guy on the sidelines, Lee Turnbow.
Dave, I had a chance to listen in on both halftime huddles for Joliet Catholic. Not really going to change too much defensively. Defense is playing very well. Offensively, like you said, they must score on points off of turnovers. For Mount Carmel, big question. They're going to get the ball first here in the second half. What's Teddy Bolden going to do? He only touched the ball 3 times in the first half. I still think he's nicked up with a couple injuries, or else he'd be a bigger part of the offense.
It'll be interesting to see because these teams are used to making those adjustments, and that's what happens when they do. 7 state championships for Joliet Catholic. Nobody has more in the state of Illinois. Of course, that run of 4 straight, 75 through 78. Mount Carmel matched that 4 straight year run, 89 through 91. They're just one shy of the Hilltoppers. And, of course, 2 other teams have 6 titles each, East St. Louis and a team down in New Lenox, Providence Catholic. So you have 13 state championships represented right here on this field tonight.
And some great coaching linkage going down the line from Frank Lee, Lindsay to Gordy to Boyder to Stone. There's been some great coaching displayed on this field.
Mount Carmel to get their hands on the ball here first in the second half. You golf, Mac? You golf?
No, I
Well,
don't want to hurt anybody.
All right, but you know what? There's still tee times available for the Joliet Catholic Alumni Association's annual golf outing. It'll still be at Cog Hill on September 21st, 1998. If there are any golfers out there, you can't put Mac in your foursome. Get a hold of Joliet Catholic Academy as soon as possible.
Hey, I can carry your clubs.
I doubt that.
You're right.
A whistle is fantastic. Puts this one down on the goal line. A flag down as well. There may have been an offside. I'm really surprised that they're even kicking the ball to Bond. Bond sitting back there along with Dan Dorham, a couple of great speedsters. I thought they might dribble the ball a little bit. They're giving these guys a chance to return it.
Well, he had a strong kick that time. Bond put his foot in the end zone. That would have brought it to the 20, but you're right. I'd kick that ball squid or get it down here in this left corner to the little guy. And I think they might do that. They're changing up their...
You know, to say that a trip to Memorial Stadium on a football Friday night with Joliet Catholic Academy is a unique experience. There you go.
They've been watching WW Wrestling or something. Those outfits, my goodness.
I was in the middle of those Warriors earlier tonight. So we'll back it up to the 35-yard line.
He's going to dump it in the
Tries
hole.
to angle it away, and this is screwed out of bounds.
What? This could be very detrimental to the defense, but the position they're going to put this ball out to the... I think it comes out to the 40-yard line.
I think they want the Hilltoppers to kick it again.
Oh, my goodness.
Interesting decision there.
Huh.
I mean, they want... Well, we'll see. I would have taken it.
Yeah. Well, they're going to move them back to the... Where are they going to be? The 25-yard line now?
Well, you're playing a field position game here, obviously, but you know the figuring is, okay, we'll make you kick it again, and that just gives us one more chance to get the ball into our return men's hands.
Or give you another chance to fumble the ball.
Wait a minute. I think they may have changed their mind. I'm not sure that...
What's going on? No, I don't think they have a choice.
Right. You know,
on that, the ball automatically comes out to the 40-yard line. You don't re-kick in high school.
Well, you have the Hilltoppers kicking team down at the 30-yard line. You have the Mount Carmel offense at the 30 on the other side.
There.
Or something. I think the referees better get this game together. It's too much. I was wondering where they were going.
Starting at the 40-yard line.
Here we go.
We will get our second half underway.
Well, here's the time you make mistakes and you have confusion.
New quarterback here for Mount Carmel. It is the junior, Brad Cozy. So Colleen basically ineffective in the first half. So Cozy, the man that he had been battling all fall, will get the start here in the third quarter. It was interesting talking to Lindsay earlier in the week. Some coaches like that competition, the battle, you know, you fight it all out. I asked Frank, I said, you know, how do you like it? I mean, you like this where guys are competing against each other, or do you wish you had your starter? He said, I wish I had my starter. I want to know. I don't want to wait all week. I want think the coaching staff here for the Hilltoppers have just gotten flagged.
Mike, I got 11. What do you got?
He's counting 13. He's counting 12 men out there.
12. One guy went off. Okay. All right, one guy went off. He got 12. All right.
Well, that's not good numbers. You're always supposed to play with the 11. They had 13, lost one, they still had 12.
Scrimmage and go back 5. Illegal substitution. Illegal substitution. Okay. All right. 5 yards.
To say that this has been kind of a tough start is an understatement.
5 yards.
5-yard penalty, and this is not a good thing right now for the Hill.
I don't know if this crew is, they won't get lunch after this ball game.
Well, you know, I give this crew credit because they were contracted to just officiate this varsity game. The sophomore officials never showed up, so what happened during the sophomore game between these two schools, the officials who showed up were asked to do the sophomore game, and they came in and did a sophomore game one by one. They started the sophomore game tonight with just one official, so it's been a long night for these guys. Now they brought it back to the 45-yard line.
Which is correct.
Well, the line of scrimmage was the 44 after the first play from scrimmage. But it is...
Do they go back to the 40?
The drive started at the 40. It was a 4-yard pickup. Now the ball's at the 45.
Yeah, somebody's got to have a math lesson here somewhere. Man.
Well, it is second down and 5 yards to go from the 45-yard line.
He hasn't got away from the middle yet. Holy cow.
Play on.
All right.
Quick hitter up the middle, good for about 4, close to a first down.
And this is how Lindsay started the game off in the first half. Dive to the fullback, dive to the fullback. They've established the fullback, or the tailback that time, and Teddy Bolden, the guy we thought would be running all over the field, has only carried the ball but half a dozen times in this whole game.
Caravan needs a yard for a first down. It is second and a yard.
Good time to go deep.
Cozy.
There it is.
Tipped in the air.
Oh.
And grab. Joe Gildine, the tight end, is going to take this one in, and Mount Carmel has the lead.
Well, second and 1. Great time to go deep. They went to Octavius Bond. The Hilltoppers smelled it out, and tipped the ball up. But they tipped it to number 85, who was running down that sideline and made a nice catch to take it in and really change the perspective of this football game. Not only has it been a delay of the game, but momentum has shifted 100% in the last 4 minutes.
Gildine, the 210-pound junior tight end, just happened to show up in the right spot at the right time. Now he will be in the block for the extra point attempt from Matt Pietrovic. Pietrovic sends it through, and all of a sudden, Mount Carmel has the 14-10 lead. And the sideline on the near side are a little bit stunned right now.
And it's imperative that the offense moves the ball this time, or Mount Carmel will sense the blood and really go in for the kill.
Lee, what's up?
I don't like the way this second half has started, guys. I mean, from the kickoff to the penalty to the referees not knowing where to mark the ball to the tip pass, Mount Carmel right now, their sidelines are going nuts. They've done everything wrong in the first half, 4 turnovers, and 2 minutes into the second half, they've got the lead. Joliet Catholic right now is going to have to establish something on the ground, and I think also Sopko is going to have to throw the ball when he gets in a second situation, just like Mount Carmel did, because Mount Carmel, you know, they're going to put 9-10 guys in the box, man, and make it difficult for Joliet Catholic to run.
Exactly right. Luke Lynn's one of their great halftime adjustment coaches, and we see here, nice play by the linebacker, but he just tipped instead of knocking that thing down or catching it.
Well, you can't call the 2 Mount Carmel touchdowns flukes. I mean, the plays are earned, but you have a halfback option pass and then a ball that's tipped, nearly intercepted for a touchdown. That's Mount Carmel's 2 scores here tonight. They lead at 14-10, but more importantly,
got to throw the short curls and skinny post that Lee likes to call to get this ball club moving.
Pietrovic.
Oh, this is a dangerous one here. Look out.
It's going to hit. Grabbed by Bill Burns. He is smothered down at the 20-yard line, and that was dangerous.
Boy, you see that thing just staying up in the air. Those white jerseys bearing down on you. Good job of hanging on to that ball.
A little bit of repair work done to Jim Staffco. He hopes that they can take a long time to get that fixed. Talk about a couple of good conferences. Joliet Catholic, of course, now we with Bishop McNamara because Providence has moved over into a dynamite conference. Catholic Metro Blue. John Webb was starting to lead the way through that time for his partner, basically, at fullback position, Jake Yangarczyk.
And this is the time when you see that, at least said they're going to put 8, 9 men in the box. That's within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage, what we call the box in football, and see if they can just stand up there and just trade blow for blow with the Hilltoppers.
Not much room there. Good job. Swarming defensively. Pietrovic was there. Getting help from Colomb. Also Dan Purdy.
Well, they're swarming right now. You've either got to come with a bootleg and throw that ball to your tight end coming across, or you got to just drop straight back and throw something in a curl underneath those linebackers you're dropping.
Topko had some big early runs in this game. Kind of lit a fire under his team.
Don't get impatient, though.
Yep.
It's only 14-10. Keep getting good field position. Your defense has played good. They'll look forward to getting the ball, turning the ball over. Oh, the blind side. Nice block.
Webb picks up
he's
Schumacher.
wide
Ball
open.
downfield. Costello stumbled. He had to turn a little bit. He was open by about 7 yards.
Goodness gracious. Bring that one back. Great block by Webb in the backfield. Fullback, number 63, I believe, had a beat on him. 47. That's Schumacher. A little holding there. But he got it off, and then he got nailed. And look at this. Goodness gracious.
Kind of got caught in a back tunnel a little bit and stumbled. And now Webb to punt.
Boy.
Gets it away.
Look at this.
Wilson will wait for a fair catch and let this one roll. We've yet to see a punt return tonight. Dead at the 34-yard line. Mount Carmel, for the first time tonight, they will have the ball and the lead. They've been battling uphill all night. Their 2 touchdowns, a 20-yard option pass from Smith to Bond, and then most recently that deflection, a 51-yard touchdown pass from Cozy to Gildine.
Well, with their junior quarterback in there, for some reason, you hear the coach is trying to make some adjustments down there.
It's a perfect goal line play. Everyone down, and we were fine.
Plus, we got to start running the other side of the wing because they're giving us leverage there, right? Sounds good, guys.
Mount Carmel from the 34. Cozy is the quarterback. Smith, the carry to the 40. That offensive line now, Sylvester Miller at 275 pounds, Gary Young at 290 in the center. Joe Morfoot starting to push things around. We have a flag down. Holding on Mount Carmel. It's a good time for that. Slow down a little momentum. 10-yard penalty will push it back.
The guy that really needs to cut loose is probably, and is the smallest man on the field, number 55, T.J. Gruber. They're doing a pretty good job. T.J.'s the little, we want to call it a little runt in the middle that tried to get between the cracks and the squeaks and get inside. They've neutralized him somewhat in preventing from double teaming him, which that's what the Hilltoppers want the Caravan to do. But I think if Gruber can get in there and snatch the ball or penetrate, that's going to help slow down that halfback dive they're running. Well, he's not playing a true nose now. He's playing over 250-pound guard.
Posey on the delay.
Yeah.
Kenny Bolden. Bolden is grabbed and flung down. Great tackle there by Ryan Davenport. Davenport, number 5, just grabbed a hold of Bolden before he could scoot to the outside.
And it looked like he was getting there, whether he's nicked or not or hurt. It looked right here. So it's a draw. The old Statue of Liberty draw. And watch, he's getting ready to come back inside. And the long hand of the law just reached out, and that would pulls him down with the jersey there.
Davenport, a fumble recovery tonight. 1 of 4 turnovers forced by the Hilltopper defense.
We haven't seen a blitz by number 41, Goolsby, back there, and they've got to get some pressure on if this guy wants to throw the ball.
Second down and 19.
He's dropping back.
Posey looking right all the way. A little bit of pushing. That ball bounced first. Interception apparent to the Joliet Catholic Academy fans by Ken Allen, of course, on the first hop.
I think the maneuver on this young man who just threw the ball, I don't think he can throw this ball very deep. Didn't look like it. I mean, his mechanics were very, very poor in that sense. He probably, if you watch and see how he throws the ball way up the top, there's just a loosey-goose out there. And if the Hilltopper was in position a little closer, he might have picked that one off. So then you take the linebacker. Now you know that. Of course, you're just going to take somebody off Octavius, but you got to put some pressure on him. Here comes 12 men again. Better get out of there.
Scampering off the field is Lee Sosinski.
With the tight ends that time, you got him. Yep.
Little absent from Posey. He'll be well short of the first down, 10 yards shy of the first down. Mike Goolsby made the tackle, number 41 for the Hill.
Well, we haven't seen a punt in so long. The last time we saw the punt in a situation like this, the Hilltoppers caved that line in. They're going to shift into it this time and try and get the... There you go.
Pietrovic now will drop back. Allen to receive for JCA. Here they come.
Oh, goodness
And
gracious.
a penalty.
Goodness gracious. Of all the things to do.
Mike Maloney came in and made contact with the punter, Matt Pietrovic, and he knew it. Mike Maloney, 6'5", 240-pounder, was there, but a little too late.
Well, you got two halves, the first half, the second half.
Automatic first down. Right.
Get a look at it here from the side. Number 74 is the man that got the flag.
It seemed like the ball is away. Yeah, he got it. Good acting job, but you'd have to go off to the side and miss it. You can't afford to get that penalty and get you struggled and held him, and now you got to go struggle again.
Ball's just shy of midfield. Fresh set of downs now for the Caravan.
Here comes that option.
Posey
Nice
keeps. Tackled by Scott Monday.
Came down real nice on that one. He just took the quarterback legs out. But I think they're setting up that fake dive and drop him back and throw that ball to Bond down the sideline.
We're at the midway point of the third quarter here. Joliet Catholic Academy, Mount Carmel, the Caravan have the 14-10 lead. They're trailing 10-0 at the end of the first quarter. They scored once in each of the second and third periods.
Got a slot. Coming back weak side. That ball's on the ground. Ooh.
Bolden just gets a hold of it in time. Posey was in trouble. Monday was there harassing him, and Bolden is lucky to beat Brent Poiter to that ball.
Well, they snuffed that one out again. They go double slot wide to the right and come back to the short side of the field to the boundary to try to get that option. We cut down a lot of room on that, but they did a good job of putting pressure on the quarterback.
3rd and 11 now.
Now they put Webb in the game, number 40, to try to get a push out of him. Put him down on that line. He's coming off tackle. He's the right tackle over here. Oh, that was some motion, that tackle. Backside.
Time in the pocket, the catch is made by the tight end, Gildine. He has the first down. Gildine, who just moments ago Grabbed a 51-yard touchdown pass, keeps this drive alive.
Well, we talked about his arm. He did a nice job of finding that tight end coming across on the backside, away from the flow, and getting a big first down for him.
17 yards on this completion. It was not a pretty throw, but the angle was right, and the big tight end, 210-pound junior, was there.
Well, the defense has been on the field unnecessarily for a long time. You don't want to do that. Condition all the time, but in heat like this, in game situations, that adrenaline takes over, and boy, you can get very, very tired if you extend yourself out in that field.
Of course, this drive was kept alive by that roughing the kicker penalty. First down, the ball just outside the 35. It's a big, big stop situation here for JCA. They are down by 4. There's a draw to Bolden. Good job of staying home by man you were talking about moments ago, number 55, T.J. Gruber.
And the thing, he won the line of scrimmage. He's 180 pounds at 5'8". He's in between a tackle and guard that go 290 and 215, and he held his ground. Watch, there's a pile, and there he is. Got a lot of help there from number 5, Ryan Davenport, also.
He was fighting off Gary Young, a 6'4", 290-pounder. About a yard on the plate. Cozy time.
Oh, he's going to throw a flag. There it is.
Bond was coming across, but Jared Olson was there too, and Olson will get the penalty. Trying to slip a little bit here for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah. And if they've lost their feet, in essence, you get to a point of the game where it's not fatigue, it's just exasperation. You've been out there so long, and he just didn't move his feet that time. And he got another interference call against Octavius Bond. They've done a great job of containing him. If he's an all-stater, then some of those kids out there really came up to the task. Yep, got to go for that ball.
They walk and they walk and they walk and stop at the 20-yard line. First down there. I got a little bit of a hook on the backside as well. Yeah. Brad Cozy, the junior quarterback, on a first down play will give off to Jim Smith. This is the workhorse in the first half. His first carry here in the second.
Well, the next time we pick the click and get a top jock, well, we're really going to have to.
I think we're all going to have to get zeros tonight.
Yes, please.
Yep, there it is. Max and Teddy Bolden pick number 1. Lee with Octavius Bond in his own way. I guess he's been a factor. John Webb has been blocking and tackling, working on both sides of the ball. Up the middle. Trying to run behind that bulk right now. Bolden, who evidently is feeling better here in this half than he was in the first half. Trying to carry the ball a bit more. He gets near the 10-yard line. That's close to a first down.
And again, we see the philosophy of these two coaches. Their offense are not, they're not going to be the San Francisco 49ers, a thriller-killer type of offense. They're very, very basic and very fundamental. And they have a big line that they do things like that. And they're just waiting for Lindsay's team to break out with something fantastic to make a big score here.
Third and less than a yard now, just outside the 10.
Big split. There's that dive again. Oh, he got the ball.
Here comes the ball. Nobody will catch Goolsby.
Oh, they called a dead ball.
Goolsby will come on into the end zone, but this one is coming back.
Oh, my goodness.
All of a sudden, Goolsby ended up with it, going the other direction, but the whistles were blowing.
They're saying he's down. They're giving the first down, giving the ball to the Hilltoppers. Yes.
Well, it is the 5th turnover of the night for Mount Carmel.
Yes. First down.
So Joliet Catholic Academy will have the first down on Goolsby's fumble recovery.
Wow. And we have fans with their nose to the window here trying to see
stop this score. Here it is. Well, Goolsby picked it up with his knee on the ground. And this means nothing, folks, except that the Hilltoppers get the ball in their hands.
Wow.
Joe Van Tassel gets stuck that time by number 60. That's Dan Casasanta.
Boy, those cornerbacks are flying up. Now, if the Hilltoppers come up with a halfback pass somewhere along the line, they might catch the Caravan, the Mount Carmel secondary, sucked up there for the play action. Little close down inside your 20-yard line, do something like that, but they've got to make a big play.
2nd and 7 from the 14.
Another counter. Ball's down.
Scramble. Turnover. Mount Carmel with it. Kareem Timbers with the fumble recovery. So an exchange of turnovers benefits Mount Carmel. The ball now at the 12.
And the one thing you didn't want to have is send your defense back out there without a really substantial rest. And you see right again, inside counter, he never got the ball. The ball went through his far arm, and he never controlled it. The ball's loose now.
You wonder now a little bit with the heat and humidity whether an awful lot of perspiration, tough to hang onto that rock. 13-yard line, the spot, first down now for Mount Carmel. They lead it 14-10. Smith bounces to the outside, brought down, a touchdown-saving tackle that time by Allen.
I think they've run that dive play about 80% of the offense has been dive right, dive left. And that time they caught the linebackers moving inside, and he went off tackle.
Remember in the first quarter where Mount Carmel only ran 5 offensive plays?
Yeah.
We have a minute 20 left here in this third quarter. Joliet Catholic has only run 5 plays in this quarter.
The tale of two halves.
At the 5-yard line, 2nd and 2.
Turnover time if you want to stay in this ball game.
Inside the 5, that should be enough for a first down. That defense, a tired unit right now for the Hilltoppers, and that offensive line just powering their way through.
Well, I think Lindsey is going to make a decision on his quarterback for the next week's game. Since Brad Cozy's come to the game, the offense has been pretty stable. Nothing flashy, but his backs are moving the ball forward, and they're getting penalties in key situations.
First down and goal from the 3-yard line. Smith stacked up. Ryan Davenport got him first. Clock winding down now. 40 seconds left in the third quarter. 14-10 is the Mount Carmel lead. They scored on a deflected pass just 2 minutes into this third quarter to take that 14-10 lead. No gain on the play for Smith that time.
And they're keeping wide splits inside the 5-yard line, making the Hilltoppers really spread themselves out. Boy, shot.
Cozy keeps, dives, he's short. Oh, he's in. Touchdown. Brad Cozy takes it on in, and the Caravan have scored 3 straight touchdowns here. They have taken a 20-10 lead.
Well, that time they shot the linebackers, and they slipped off of him. They went over the top to try to get him. You see here, we see a flying, and he just slipped loose and fell into the end zone. Going to take some work in that fourth quarter.
Yep. Taking advantage. The fumble recovery by Kareem Timbers. Now Pietrovic looking to make it an 11-point game for Mount Carmel. And he does. It is 21-10, the Caravan. It's been a long time since Dan Sharp has seen any points go on the side. The scoreboard, it has the Hilltoppers name above it. And for Brad Cozy, he'll score his first point as a Mount Carmel varsity player. This baby has turned around. Carmel using that big offensive line, and we're seeing the team that is ranked number 1 in the preseason in the state of Illinois, and whatever class you want it to be. It's in the top 10 in the nation.
I think that this is not a game where you come out and say, well, we played well, but we were satisfied. I think Dan Sharp envisioned when he came in this game that he could beat the Caravan. And his team has played well. They just made mistakes, similar to the mistakes that the Caravan made in the first half. And again, we knew there was going to be some adjustments, and they just forced the ball down. He's still looking for some offense. He's got to find something. Sopko in the first half made some nice runs. They've shut him down this half.
Well, he knows that his offense has to keep his defense off the field, if nothing else, here in the next few moments.
There's some tired puppies out there on the defensive side.
Petrovic will bang this one deep.
Boy, those good.
Say what you will about Nick's setup, but Petrovic with that straight-on style, he gets it high and he gets it deep. That's the third touchback tonight for Petrovic. 9 seconds left here in the third quarter. You take a look at this Hilltopper team, and I know we've seen them, for now, 3 quarters. You just take a look, and they do not seem to be the type of team, at least in the early going here with Sopko at quarterback, that can strike quickly by way of Mark Sopko doing it all by himself.
Right. I think their defense has proved they can stand if they give them in the right position. You just can't leave them out there.
Through the air.
Oh, man.
Strong chasing. There's a man wide open. It's Boyder, and did he hang on long enough?
Yes, he did.
Yes, they did. That's a big target you're going to, and Brett Boyder, and he's still down.
Well, he got hit right in the rib cage. That ball got it at the height of the jump. He's coming out. He's holding on his rib cage there. And he's a two-way performer. That's hard. He's a big kid, though. He's okay. They'll get him back in there. Now it looks like he's got a cramp.
That's a 19-yard pass completion.
Quarterback draw.
A 1-yard gain to the 40, and that siren you hear in the background means we have played 3 quarters here at Joliet Memorial Stadium. The annual battle between Mount Carmel and Joliet Catholic Academy. And with this touchdown from Brad Cozy, the Caravan controlling it 21-10 after 3.
I'm telling you, man, dogs know all. They're like geniuses. There's this family, right? They forgot their dog when they moved from Florida to China. So this dog, he walked all the way to California, jumps in the Atlantic Ocean, swims across it during monsoon, and found his family in China. No way. There's like billions of people in China. It's a famous story. I mean, dogs got like giant brains, and no one thinks so.
Tobacco, tumor-causing, teeth-staining, smelly, puking habit.
This is just game number 1 of a season-long schedule here on Media One. I'm Dave Bernhardt, along with Max McLaughlin and Lee Turnbow. Doesn't get much better than this in terms of a matchup. Mount Carmel and Joliet Catholic Academy from Joliet Memorial Stadium. You see the big crowd. It was a happy Hilltopper crowd for the first quarter or so. It was a 10-0 KCA lead then, but Mount Carmel with a touchdown in the second quarter. They added a couple of more scores in the third, and they lead it now by 11. We start the fourth quarter. Hilltoppers at their own 40-yard line, 2nd and 9. Mark Sopko, junior quarterback.
Nice
Lets
ball.
it go. Goolsby is there, make that. Burns is there, but knocked away very nicely by Robert Richardson.
He was triple covered that time. That was a nice ball. Again, without Boyder in there, you got to get that tight end to come underneath that, like he did before, and similar to the one he scored the touchdown, because they really dropped back deep on Burns on that play.
Mark Sopko was sitting in a classroom this past February. Dan Sharp came down and pulled him out of class and said, "Young man, would you like to be a starting quarterback at Joliet Catholic Academy?" Mike Meyer had just announced that he was going to be moving. Sopko says, "I want it. I want to do it." That's why you see a number 20 behind center. Faced with a 3rd and long. Looking for Kinsella. He would have gone nowhere anyway.
Pick number 97, boy, Dedrick Strong. They got him again. I don't know. They give some kids more height and other kids less height. But if he's 6'3", then I'm 6'1", because he looks like he's about 6'6", and a lot more than 212 pounds. But that time he matched up against Dick Ward, the fullback. They had a pushy match out there.
A 19-yard pass play to Boyder was the initial play of this mini drive, and then it was 3 and out with the net gain of a yard. That's why John Webb is back in to punt. Just gets it away. Wilson hammered down. Great job by Bill Burns.
Maybe that's why he's been letting them drop. He didn't want to get cracked like that.
You know, interesting, Webb's punt. We'll see the tail end of this. There's Burns. Makes that tackle, but Webb's punt, he punted the ball. There was a lot of pressure coming on him, and then Webb kind of pulled back rather than just, kind of following through with the leg and trying to draw some contact.
Do you actually believe a man that can bench press 430 pounds, squat 630 is going to fall down to near human? No, not Mr. Webb.
Cozy in trouble. Maloney will wrap him up. Cozy, a strong runner. Saw him dive in for a touchdown. He flies across the 40-yard line there.
Well, the key here is ball control, but I'll tell you what, Lindsey will put that ball up on you right now and really try to put the pressure that they score right now. It'll be just very, very tough for the Hilltoppers to come back.
JCA has forced 5 turnovers. 4 of those in the first half. Throw in a block punt in the first half, and they only could manage 10 points out of those turnovers.
And how big was the roughing the kicker penalty in the 3rd quarter for the Hilltoppers?
Well, that
comes a dive.
Other than that long touchdown pass, and it really was not a long pass. It became a 51-yard touchdown pass on a completion. Mount Carmel has really not had any big plays, no explosive plays that I think a lot of people here tonight were expecting to see.
But here's the key. On their plays, their big plays, turnovers, the tip punt, they went in for a tip pass, went in for a touchdown. The block into the kicker, they went and scored a touchdown. So they're scoring off of the turnovers that the Hilltoppers have not.
Cozy running the option to Bolden. See the quick feet from Teddy Bolden. So the first half belonged to running back Jim Smith from Mount Carmel. He got the bulk of the carries. Now Bolden will get the carries here. Octavius Bond is a superstar catching the ball, Max, but he can block.
Oh, nice job. So holding in there, but nice job. I mean, that guy's standing right next to him. Give me a break. That was holding. Holy smokes. You know, give credit to the Hilltopper defense to try to hold Teddy Bolden down. I think he's got about maybe 40, 50 yards this game. But
7 yards on that last pickup.
There it comes. There it is.
Cozy left sideline just throws it up. Both players wrestle and they go out of bounds looking for Bond. Bond has been quiet tonight. Hilltoppers have shut him down.
Well, he came in with all this rating, and he deserves it. He just had a great summer camp. But I'll tell you what, those big guys for the Hilltoppers did a good job on one-on-one against them. Of course, they put a little pressure on the quarterback all the time, and that always helps.
What's up next for Joliet Catholic Academy? Well, they will be at home next week against Hale Franciscan. So a couple of home games here to start out their season. In fact, the Hill plays 4 of their first 5 games here at home. Short gain to the 45. Next week, Mount Carmel will play host to Leo. This is Joliet Catholic Academy schedule. Look at week 4 there. Bishop McNamara in week number 4. Good conference. Brother Rice down at the bottom of the 8th week gave Mount Carmel one of their losses last year. As far as the Caravan's concerned, we mentioned that they play Leo in game number 2. Poor Leo! Poor Leo! Tonight they're playing Providence Catholic, so they go Providence Catholic and then Mount Carmel in back-to-back weeks.
Who's that, AD?
Human punishment there. 9:30 to play here in the game. The ball at the 45-yard line of the Hilltoppers. Flag down, goes the pitch.
He was going to throw that thing again.
Smith makes something out of nothing, and he sure was. He had Bond down the right sideline that was identical to the touchdown play earlier.
Good heat on the quarterback on that pitch, and that's what made the ball hit the ground. But Octavius Bond was streaking down the sideline with nobody underneath him but 20 yards away. We got a motion call against Mount Carmel.
Intensity here of this second half has not matched the first half. Now, granted, anytime you have a potential upset going on, the whole crowd seems to be a little bit more electrified, but the pace of the second half hasn't quite matched the frenetic pace of the half number one. Joliet Catholic will say, hey, your 1 yard gain is all right. We'll take the play. That will bring up a punting situation, 4th and 5. Well, right now you need your special teams to duplicate what they did earlier on, and that was get a block on Pietrovic.
They just put all 11 up there. Now he's going to give him 10 yards back.
They had to wait for Pietrovic to tie his shoe. You knew he was going to kick. He had to make sure that shoe was laced, that punting shoe. Good snap. Good pressure. And a good boot. Allen calling for the fair catch inside the 10.
Wow. Yep, he's got a 90-yard drive or a 91-yard drive. We better get it. We got to put it down again.
This is back where Pietrovic punted the ball. 9:08 to play in the game. Here's that punt again by Pietrovic. See if he can pick up where the injury may have occurred.
He got blocked in. He was blocked out of the way on that side and took a spill.
Derek Matichak is the man that is down.
And when you see, there you go.
Well, you have this little delay. Let's go down to Lee Turnbow. Lee?
You know, David Mack, with every new season, it brings new questions, not only for Joliet Catholic, but for all the other area teams. Over at Linkaway, Adam Hannell, he's going to come over and take over for Corey Paws. Can he do the job? At Providence, they've got a tougher schedule. They got Marion Catholic, and, of course, that big matchup with Mount Carmel. Bolingbrook, Kevin Hatch, he takes over for Antonio O'Haros. And how is Steve Williams, a transfer from Romeoville? How is he going to fit in with all the picture? A lot of questions, new season. I tell you what, we'll answer them all on our schedule.
You took my promo away from me, Lee. I was going to say the very thing. You want answers? You come here on the Game of the Week. In fact, next week, we'll have some questions answered next week because we will take our cameras and crew out to Romeoville High School. Great matchup in the area. Romeoville playing host to Joliet Township. Bill Winke will make his first appearance at Romeoville since leaving the Spartans program a couple of years ago. And we'll get a chance to see if Joliet is on that road to recovery. Jim Baduras, Lee mentioned lost Steve Williams. See how he reloads. Sapko. Now we'll try to make things happen on his own. Looking for help, gets one. Sapko still on his feet. This guy is going to be fun to watch this year.
Yes, he is. I'll tell you what, you may want to change your offense and go to an option offense to give him that read down the line with that ball in his hand. Boy, he really was like a jitterburger back there. He's just running all over the place.
You know, you talk to any Hilltopper fan, and they'll say, well, you know, we're sure Sapko was going to do a good job back there, but, boy, if Mike Meyer had stayed and Sapko would have been in the backfield.
Yep. That's a different story. Getting back to that Romeoville JT game, should be an excellent ball game. Two clubs we see Sapko making. Watch this little move. He stops and starts and picks up another 8 yards off this and gets smashed over there. That was a big first down for them. So they were in bad territory.
Out to the 23-yard line.
Trying to find Boyder. Yeah,
Looks this way, Boyder.
He dropped it.
That ball just hung up a little bit too long. Brett not too happy with himself. But when you've got a guy like returning starter Robert Richardson, number 35, closing in on you, you know you're going to get tagged.
Yeah, 6'4", 245. They're asking Brett to sprint down 30 yards and and take a linebacker. And that time, again, Topco has worked on that throwing. He'll be all right. Boy, they had to wait a long time for that.
A lot of quarterbacks in the area that would like to have a target like Boyder they could go to.
Burns is a good receiver also. He's got that speed.
It's a second down now with 7:57 left here in the game.
But going back and talking about next week's game, this should be a real good battle. You won't see all these Octavia Davis Bonds and all these guys that they're talking about, but you will see some exciting players. Chucky Cargo, the fastest man in Will County. Matt Johnson, a 6'4", 270-pound offensive lineman, defensive tackle, and Romeoville has Vogel, a fine quarterback that can move the ball.
Donald Scott, great hitter in the secondary.
Yes. And a natural rivalry. You know, and the old coach is coming back, and both teams will be hungry.
Well, I imagine there'll be some hooting and hollering going on in that one. Winky will have to be directed to the far sideline over there at Romeoville. Topco after the 5-yard penalty. Lets it go again.
Nice ball.
Looking for Van Tassel, and Heron cannot hang on, and now a flag comes out. Well, that was a tough situation throwing into triple coverage. Seamus Heron had his hands on the ball.
You know, he's an ex-running back. Boy, he just drops back and just lets it go. One ball's a bullet. The next guy is a wounded duck. But he sets up nice on this one. Plants his feet. He throws that thing from the top of his ear. And look at all the white jerseys around there. Man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them.
Offensive pass interference and a loss of down for JCA. What? I didn't quite follow that one either, but we'll put it back at the 8-yard line.
Boy.
Actually, at the 13-yard line. You know, you talk about Sopko, nice setup. That's something I think a lot of people don't realize. You know, for a running back to all of a sudden have to learn the footwork, you know, to get set. I mean, obviously you have to be a good athlete, but that takes an awful lot of practice to be comfortable doing that.
Yes, it does. And you do it. You just don't do it overnight. It's going to take a whole year for him to really get that footwork down and get that arm straightened out. That's a screen.
Going this side to Gankarczyk. Jake Gankarczyk will dive up to the 23. He will be 9 yards short of a first down.
Well, if you had to evaluate, and take a look at where you are in the two ball clubs, I think Catholic High is going to have an excellent season. I think they have some excellent defensive people out there. Offensively right now is Sopko and the big kid Boyder. He's not too happy about tonight's game. And this is not a moral victory, 21-10, or whatever the final score is, because they've played some solid football. It's just that they were outmanned in the second half, and the breaks went the other way, and the big scores were made. Oh, he's in trouble.
Bond nearly got a hand on it. This is Wilson. Slips down. Tackle going to Bill Burns. A couple of special teams tackles here by Burns.
And on the other side, when you talk about the Mount Carmel Caravan, are they that good? Well, I think they have a lot of people that can do a lot of different things, and they need to get Teddy Bolden because the schedule is not an easy schedule of who they're going to play, and it should be a heck of a game down in New Lenox, game 8.
Maybe it's
right
fine.
under
Just
that
missed
one.
it. See if the Caravan goes for the kill with 6:55 to play in the game. Up the middle to Bolden. He's across midfield. Well, does Frank Lenzi say, let's see what my junior quarterback can do, or do we just let those big horses up front grind it out here and run clock?
I think we might see one deep pass to Mr. Bonds before this one's over.
He caught a 20-yard touchdown pass to start the scoring for Mount Carmel. That was in the second quarter. Say to Bolden, he gets to near the 45. We're going to start thinking about this top jock situation. Bolden, Bond, Webb.
Oh, Well, my guy's touched the ball more than anybody.
Yes, he has. Well, I don't know. John Webb has punted a little bit tonight. That's why I was going with it, the multifaceted player. I would have to lean to Mr. Bolden. Lee, you can just shake your head. There's time to play. He says Bond has a touchdown. Bolden again. 3 yards, 4 yards, and another 4-yard pickup.
Well, if Lee had been quiet, I was going to take Sopko.
Sopko had that early burst in the first quarter. He struggled under the pressure, and Mount Carmel defense has put up. And we don't necessarily mean the pressure from the front four, but tell you what, their linebackers and secondary are awfully good.
Yeah, and then again, that makes their defense just a little bit better when it comes to doing things. Excellent job of kicking. The kicking game is, on both sides has been well executed. Oh, there's a fumble there.
Saw that a few times in the first half.
And the fumbles could be caused by that little number 5 that's all over the place down in there.
Ryan Davenport has been a factor tonight. Hilltopper fans sticking around with 4:57 left.
Not very many Mount Carmel people have left. If I look over there, it looks like they're still all there.
Well, they remember the games that these teams play. These games are never over until those referees walk off the field and say, go home. You like to see that kind of crowd on a Friday night?
Yep,
why not? This was the game to see.
Whoa, man, he gets stuck.
Dan Durham maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage if they're generous.
55, 89, 72, getting off that pile. There's a flag laying down.
Before the snap, we got a false start on 76 on the offense.
5 yards back we go.
I don't think people realize how it enhances the game to have the head linesman mic to inform you. And if you do it more in high school, like you do in the pros, well, sometimes you hear a lot of things you shouldn't hear in the pros, but to inform what's going on out there, and so far as describing the penalties.
That was John Magaro that was flagged for that one. 2nd down and 15. Everything right up the gut here in the closing moments of the fourth quarter.
It looks like you're not going to run on the Hilltoppers with anything big the way they can stack up there. They're just kind of, again, a tip pass and things like that. And on the field for 30 out of the 35 minutes or whatever is just too long. But I think they've done a good job. And next week they get Hill Franciscan. And I think they're a 7-2, 6-3 ball club. Or better.
Wow. Cozy keeps, and not a wise choice from the junior.
Man.
Knocked down. Boyder was there. How many times can he mention that guy's name tonight? Jay Wardzinski as well. Hilltoppers will call a timeout with 3:24 to play in advance of this Mount Carmel punch. Boyder has done it offensively and defensively. Check out number 89 here. Wardzinski turns them in. Boyder has a big load sitting on him, a 250-pounder. Lee?
Well, you got to feel great if you're a Joliet Catholic fan about the defense. The defense has just been outstanding all night, giving up 2 kind of fluky touchdowns. If not for that, Joliet Catholic is ahead 10-7. The offense, folks, is going to come around. Sopko's going to get better and better. The run offense is going to get better, and the offensive line has played very well tonight for them.
I agree. I think that defensively we knew that the Hilltoppers would be good, and Lee brings up that point. Somewhat fluky touchdowns, but I think what we're seeing here is, and keep this in mind, Frank Lenti has hinted that he believes that this could be the best team he has ever had. And he's a 5 state champion. When you talk about it coming out in the first game of the season and just sticking at them and making them earn everything they've gotten, I think it bodes well for the men in brown.
Now, that's quite a statement from Coach Lenti, because I remember Donovan McNabb, who was awful good. That day he had a lot of guys went to Division I, so maybe the Hilltoppers are doing a better job than we think out there.
Piotrovic had his first punt blocked.
Oh,
been a busy guy tonight. There he is. Kept his head about him. Fred Chesky, you'll see him entering the picture momentarily. He blocked the punt earlier.
Wow. There's a punter wearing number 61. A quarterback wearing number 20.
It's nothing sacred anymore.
I tell you.
He's had to change those shoes a little bit tonight. Played a little defense as well. Sapko, good ball right side. He's got his man. That's maybe the best ball he has thrown all night long, and he finds Kevin Hansen with it.
Not a shotgun arm back there, but, you know, that was nice technique on that one. Nice tie-dye shirt. Well, the Grateful Dead are back.
It's a 20-yard completion that time for Sapko to Kevin Hansen. Here he comes again.
Whoa.
Runs away from the pressure.
And we're not being critical of South Dakota since we're judging his throwing. Remember now, Dave said that Coach Sharp goes into the,
Roughing the passer call.
goes into the classroom, and all of a sudden South Dakota, who's been a tailback all his life, now becomes the quarterback. You just don't do that overnight. He's done an excellent job of maturation from January to this point, and he'll only get better.
Well, and think about it here. What's his first varsity start?
Yeah.
Mount Carmel. I mean, goodness gracious. Of course, Mark, an excellent baseball pitcher. He played a lot of baseball this summer. So he was probably almost one of the few people that was happy school was starting. Get a little bit of a break during the day.
Going through all that heat. Oh, backside.
Now he will put on the running shoes. .251 left here in the fourth quarter of play. 21-10, Mount Carmel on top of Joliet Catholic Academy here in the opener of the 1998 season. Starting to see the cars filing out here at the stadium across the way. They think they've seen enough. Yet they say the large percentage of the people still sticking around. Sapko bounces this one in. Starting to feel a little more pressure out there.
And one thing about the caravans leaving, they go all over. I look at their roster. They go to Blue Island. They go to Lansing. They come from Evergreen Park. I mean, these guys that's quite a bus ride to get to Mount Carmel High School.
Well, they've got a whole lot of people on their football team, too. They probably have, 60, 70, 80 players on their football roster.
And right now, they're only playing about 25 of them. 25 very good ones. Whoa. Oh, ball's in
ball
there.
Up in the air. Picked up and grabbed off. The fumble recovery by Tony Fulton.
The one thing he did. Get up, Sapko. Attaboy.
Now, it's not been a pretty second half here for JCA. First half, they were about as fired up as a team could be. As Liam mentioned earlier, they were pacing around during the sophomore game. And that young man lit a spark early. And Sharp is going to take care of him and nurture him along as this season progresses.
Pick number 97, Derek Strong.
Oh,
nice.
A hit
Yeah.
and a hammer job that time. Ryan Davenport says hello to
Wow.
Don Durham.
Well, I tell you what, they still hitting. They're still hitting out
Yeah, they
there.
are.
Well, if the bell hasn't rung, like I say, anything can happen. You can see a turnover, somebody fly down the field, and we have a 21-18 ball game with a couple of minutes to go.
They've had 8 turnovers in this ball game and a block punt. 4 turnovers and a block punt by Joliet Catholic in the first half. And they could muster but 10 points. Bolden finding the yardage tough to come by.
Dave and Mac, a couple of things on the sideline stand here in the last closing minutes of this ball game. Two things stand out in my mind. Number one, Mount Carmel, I don't think they're as good as advertised. I think they're a little bit overrated. I think Coach Frank Lenny, he's got a couple of questions at quarterback and also at his halfbacks. They did not look impressive with the returning linemen and all the hype that they had. I think he's got question marks. And number two, it is an eerie how much that Dan Sharp on the sidelines resembles Gordy Gillespie. All the way down to the folded program, down to the way he holds his hands on his hips and he folds his arms and the way he tusses at his hat and he paces the sidelines. He looks exactly like a young Gordy Gillespie. And I know, Mac and Dave, you've been here covering the games, but with the hands on the hips and watching the plays and all the mannerisms, I know he went to Joliet Catholic. I know he was assistant coach here, but he looks like a little Gordy Gillespie. And folks, bear with me. He's going to bring his program back to respectability. He was 5-5 last year, and the up-and-coming freshmen and sophomores played a heck of a ball game today. And if anybody could turn this program around and get it back to where it was in its glory years, it's going to be Danny Sharp. Just does a tremendous job with these kids. And if you ever have a chance to go to a Joliet Catholic practice, go to a Joliet Catholic football practice, because you would be amazed at the amount of teaching, not hollering and screaming, but the amount of teaching that goes on during one of his practices. They're constantly teaching, constantly motivating these kids, and I tell you what, he's going to do a great job.
I just lost 5 more players to the Catholic League, Lee. Good job, though. You're absolutely right. And who would you want to better emulate than Gordy Gillespie?
Well, and you know what's going to happen, too, is the Hilltoppers call a timeout with 1:07 left. This has not been, exactly what they wanted, especially after seeing the first quarter tonight. But you can bet the next time this team comes together, most everything that will be said will be in a positive vein. Okay, look, we did this. We can do this. We can get better. We will be good. I think they have a lot to build on here tonight. And I will echo Lee's comments, Mac, about Mount Carmel. Maybe not yet as good. I think they'll be okay, but I thought we'd see a little bit more tonight.
Well, I think this is one of those teams, as you see Coach Mack with his defensive help.
All right, we're going to take that away from him. And you inside linebackers play tighter, about 3 yards there, looking for the draw and the lead play there. Giant play coming at you in the big gap. All right, so let's go, guys. Let's go, boys.
That's a conversation with 67 seconds left. And you can bet that van will be out here, the Hillmobile.
Usually I get a chance to go in the Hillmobile, but when it drove up, it was leaking oil and sputting out gas, and I think it was condemned. So I'm not going to go in there until they get all the bugs and kinks out of that baby.
I thought it looked like your car you drove up here.
Third and long. Third down and 12.
And Octavius Bond is down there. That's good.
Posey will fall back on it. And I would bet, Lee talks about if you go to a Joliet Catholic Academy practice, what you'll see. If we made a trip up to Mount Carmel and practice this week, I would bet we will see them working an awful lot on their handoffs and on their pitches. They have struggled tonight.
And I think going back to what Lee said about Mount Carmel, I think they're a team that is very good at certain positions. They need to work at it. But I like one thing. This looks like a Lindsay team that's going to kill you by default. You don't think they're that good. But we didn't see Teddy Bolden at his best or Jimmy Smith at his best. And once this quarterback position gets straightened out, they have some weapons.
And speaking of Teddy Bolden, and I know he was your top job pick, and let's go over the top jocks, Dave and Mac. Let's do that and nail it down as to who has won it tonight. I think it's a clear-cut choice, and I know that you forgot to mention in the pregame that I am the 2-time defending champion on top jocks.
Oh, there's top jocks. I'm voting for Bolden. Bolden did most of the work here tonight, especially in the second half. I know Bond has that one touchdown grab, and he was a factor in terms of paying attention, but I think we have to go with Bolden myself. This is Ken Allen at the 20. Well, there are 8 white jerseys on top of Ken Allen.
Now, if he'd have broke past those guys, he might have had a chance of going.
Let's clarify the top jocks. It's not necessarily in the end, who the most valuable player of the game was. These are 3 guys that we select at the beginning of the game. We choose which of the 3 may have had the most impact. I wish I'd have taken Brett Boyder.
Yeah.
If I take Brett Boyder, I'm a winner.
And if I had taken my first choice and go with Sopko and say, hey, see if the young kid can do it, well, I'd have felt a lot better there. But
so Lee agreed. It's Bolden.
agree because my guy scored the touchdown. And Bolin didn't touch the ball in the first half, so I think you got to give it to me.
All right, we're 2-1 and you lost now. Yep. Forget it.
Good arm strength there from Sapko. 48 seconds left. Looking for Bill Burns. This is a guy that we'll probably hear a little bit more about as the season goes on. Burns with some great speed.
Again, another thing about Mount Carmel, you don't see a lot of substitution. Maybe now you still got 47, 53 in that lineup. The two big linebackers. You got your defensive backs in there. You still got Derek Strong, your down tackle down there. So a lot of things you're talking about depth, improving on that. Look who's in the backfield.
Curran chasing Sapko. A duck. And in his hands and out. That was Kevin Schumacher, or make that Jerry Schumacher, rather.
I tell you, that punter, Matt Pietrovich, he was back there too, 61. And he put on another shoe, like you said. He was trying to put some heat on Sapko.
This is not really a fair evaluation of the JCA offense here. They've had to play catch-up and put the ball in the air nearly every play here in the fourth quarter. This is not the normal offense that you will see out of the Hilltoppers. They really did have to abandon that running game when they fell behind by 11 points.
Yeah. I think Webb's going to be a battering ram that they're going to have to use with that big line.
Nice job of getting away from the first man.
Ooh, ugly.
There's a flag that will be coming out right there. Bird hammered by Dan Cologne.
Well, I know Matt Sapko is a hard young man. As much as he's about to gain about 1,000 yards out there going left and right, trying to dodge all those Mount Carmel linemen coming at him.
Next week here in our Game of the Week coverage, we will be at Romeoville. The Joliet Township Steelmen taking on the Romeoville Spartans. Of course, a reminder for all our Game of the Week coverage, you can catch our games for the first time on the night of the game, 10:30 on a Friday night. Unless some of these games run as late as this one is. We're approaching 11 o'clock right now here at Joliet Memorial Stadium. Tay Wilson, the handoff. Ooh, back he goes. Derek Strong jumped aboard and rode him down. I got help from Dan Casasanta.
No substitution. We're going to play 11 on 11 for the whole ball game.
Underneath 10 seconds now.
Ooh,
Sapko lets it go.
6 on 1.
And the Caravan battle each other for it. The ball falls incomplete. And this opener ends. Mount Carmel, as they were favored to do, knocks off Joliet Catholic Academy, but not by the margin, nor by the domination that I think a lot of people expected. The Caravan 21-10 winners over JCA in a game that, well, really was a tale of two different halves. The Hilltoppers in the first half, especially in the first quarter, forcing turnovers, controlling the emotion of the game. They took it to Mount Carmel there in the opening 12 minutes.
Excellent observation. And I think a tale of two quarters, and I think both teams will improve right next week and down the road.
Scoring was opened up by Joe Van Tassel's 30-yard field goal midway through the first quarter, and then after a block punt by Ryan Brancheski, final play of the first quarter found Brett Boyder catching a 16-yard touchdown pass from Sapko. That made it 10-0 JCA. That would be the last point the Hilltoppers would score. Let's go down now in the field and join Lee Turnbull with Dan Sharp. Lee?
Thanks, Dave. Coach, great first half. The turnovers didn't get any points off those in the first half. The third quarter, it seemed like your defense was on the field the whole time.
Yeah, it all started out with the weird series of offside on the kickoffs, and we got some penalties that hurt us. We had some turnovers. We had a big play that we thought we had when Goolsby scooped up the ball. We thought we might have got a